Hello, 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 hello. Can everybody hear me? Can everyone hear me? Please, if you can hear me, let me know.
Yes, we can. We can hear you.
All right.
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. Good evening.
Good evening. I can hear you. So excited to be back here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's good to see you. I can't see everyone, but definitely would get to introduce ourselves as we go on. And you can all hear me loud and clear.
That's
Yes, we can
Afemikhe
hear
from
you
my
loud and
end.
clear.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. That's great. My name is King E. For those who do not know me, King E Afemikhe. I am King E Afemikhe on all social media platform. I'm sure if you type King E Afemikhe, you see me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, yeah, even LinkedIn. I'm almost sure that, but Emmanuel is the real name, Emmanuel Macaulay Afemikhe. And it is so good to be doing this with you. I would want to see everyone. Like almost half of the class is not yet here, but we are going to start regardless. So first things first, let me search for everyone in the class so that I can see as many people as possible. I see Gabriella, I see Blessing, I see Shei. Okay, Shei is part of us. I see Joanne, I see
Good evening.
Lola. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Who else? Joy, Megan, Precious, that random Yoruba guy. What's up? Blessing, Leo. I see Voices of Ruby. Hey, what's up, man? You're in my class. Okay. I see Praise. I see Clinton. Clinton, I know you. I think you have been in the studio before. Nino Luwa, right? I see Oluwa, Toby, Gladys. I see another Gladys. Hey, I see Pretty. I see Zoza International, Tokula, Angela, I think. Okay. But then I see all of you. Welcome on board. My name is King E. I have said that before and I have said it again. I am the founder and lead facilitator at the Voiceover Workshop and Media, and it is so beautiful to be doing this. Now, you guys are like the luckiest of the luckiest of the, if there's anything like that, for this year, because our anniversary, we needed to do this, and I felt like it was necessary for us to give back to some extent. We didn't want to do a free class altogether, but we wanted to do something that will benefit a whole lot of people. So welcome on board. We are starting the class right about now. For those people who are not yet here, please, if you know any one of them, please do well to tell them that the class has started. Denike, I see you. I see you. It's good to see you again in class. Welcome to the session. All right. So ground rules. If you're not speaking, please turn off your microphone so that it would help all of us learn as much as possible. Okay. So do us the honors. Just do us well. Turn off your microphone and let's have a bit of a quieter learning experience. So please, if your microphone is on, I'll give you a few, no, I'll give you 2 seconds to turn it off and leave it off until you want to say something. All right. So first question before I continue, I start the class properly, I would want to ask, what is your why? What is your why? Why did you decide to take this course? We might not be able to go through everyone, okay? And another thing is I like my class to be as conversational as possible. So the classes should be conversational. You should get involved, okay? So that we have a bit of a memorable experience and you learn. There's something I always say. I say when you have a conversation or you have one sweet gist with your friends, you can tell someone else about that experience or that same gist, for another 10 years. You will rarely forget. All right. Unlike when you are in class, the class is boring, or you're not really interested about what the lecturer is saying and all that. Most of the time you don't even remember. So let's do it like that. Like we're just friends hanging out, having a good time and discussing. Okay. So what is your why? Why did you decide to do this? What is your why? Who wants to answer? Just signify by a raise of hand. I'll call your name, so that we have some decorum, that the couple of us in the class, so that so what is your why? No one? I can't see any hands up. Joanne, please introduce yourself, what country you're joining us from, because yes, I said I was going to say that there are some guys from Ghana, we have Kenya, I believe, Cameroon, I think. But let's just see if I'm not mistaken. And of course, we have Nigeria in the class today, and other countries. Actually, I think there are other, like, one or two other countries that I'm not mentioning. But please, just do us the favor and say what country you're joining us from, or what state in Nigeria. All right.
All right. Good evening. My name is John, and I am here in Lagos, Nigeria. I joined this class because I think I have something for media. However, I am camera shy, so it's not visual media, but like audio. So I did radio some years back. So I feel like learning more about voiceover could lead me into podcasting, which is not visual, like I really said. So that's why I'm here. Thank you.
All right, John, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that at the end of the class, something different happens to your voice. And it will also give me some joy to see that you're not camera shy. There's a reason I said that, because the world is drastically changing, and being able to face the camera is an advantage. And if it is an advantage and there is a way, right, to add it to your portfolio, I think that would be okay. So I am praying with you. Okay. So let's go. Blessing progress. There's blessing progress, and there's blessing Uzoegbu. Yes. So blessing progress now, and then blessing Uzoegbu afterwards. And we have Megan as well. All right. Blessing progress. Are you there? Your hand is up, but you're not talking. Please unmute yourself, unmute your microphone, and let's get this started.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
All right. I think his network is so blessing Uzoegbu.
Good evening. My name is Blessing Uzoegbu. I'm super excited to be in this course today. It's more like a dream come true. I've been looking for a coach for a while now, for a long time. I've asked people around, but no one has given me any pointers to who could coach me in becoming a voiceover artist. This has been my passion, being that I'm in a language industry.
Yeah.
I do a little of voiceover, and I knew that no, this is a skill I need to hone. This is a skill I must have. So this is my to-do list this year. So I'm super happy that this is going to be a dream come true for me. So I'm looking forward to it.
Super. Thank you so much, Blessing. And I am excited to have you in class as well. So welcome. Megan. Apologies if I murdered that.
Megan Riggs. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Such a pleasure to be here. I am all the way in Trinidad and Tobago.
You are the person.
Yes, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate being here. Definitely looking forward to the next few days of training and to meet all you lovely people. I would say that my why is I love public speaking. I love speaking to audiences, engaging with people, but I know that my natural speaking voice is very high. I have a very high pitch, and I've always struggled with exercising, and I'll start working on my vocals and then I'll fall off, and then it's only when I have to present, then the morning of my presentation, I'm exhausting my voice. So I'm really here to learn the mechanics, the science of my voice, training my voice to be an effective speaker. And it's ready for my business, which is in mental health, which means that I do speak on different platforms. So again, very happy to be here.
Well, good to have you in class. At the end of the day, I hope that your purpose of starting or registering or being here at all is achieved. I am sure that is going to happen. Oluwatobi. Oluwatobi.
Hello. Good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good evening.
Yes, my name is Oluwatobi Kolafor from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm super excited to finally join this course. It's been a long time. I've always loved doing voiceovers, had background sounds, and people are like, "Is this your voice?" I said, "Yes." They said, "No, no, 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 this cannot be your voice." But there's a place for professionalism. So, my neighbor, I don't know, you may know him, Tolu. His name is Tolu Fast something. Yeah. So he
Okay.
just said, "Guys, I have one guy that does training and all that." And I said, "Okay, I'll be interested to at least become a professional." So he linked me up, and then that's why I'm here to become a professional voiceover artist.
Fantastic. Welcome on board. So we have Leo and Blessing is back. After that, we would have to jump into the class, right? So thank you, Oluwatobi. Leo, let's hear from you quickly.
All right. Good to be here, everyone.
Good to have you here.
Yeah. I am an MC, event host, and sometimes I see myself, running commentaries and also voiceover for events. As I speak with you today, I had to go do a bit of video reels, okay, publicizing an event that is coming up in Salah period.
Right.
And also as a Toastmaster, training myself to be a public speaker. I think I also want to add voiceover skill to it because my why basically is just to create multiple streams of income.
Aha. That is also very important.
Yeah, that's my why.
Super.
To be a speaker and also a voiceover artist, amongst many other stuff.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Leo. I see two more hands up, Gabriella and that random Yoruba guy. Okay, that random Yoruba guy, when you come, you will tell us what your name is. So this is that random Yoruba guy. All right, but it's fine. Okay, Gabriella, I believe. Blessing. Okay, Blessing, can you talk now?
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, nice. I'm excited to be here. My name is Blessing Progress. I'm from Delta State, Nigeria. I actually joined growing up. We used to watch commentaries, cartoons, and TV shows, So we do practice those commercials, and I really love voicing. And my girlfriend, she's also here. She's a voiceover artist, and she was like, this voiceover
family
workshop is
business
up.
activated is okay.
Yeah, you understand, bro. Like she was like, this voiceover workshop is coming up, so why don't you just register since you like voicing? So that's the main motivation. I really want to challenge her that I can do better than her.
Yeah. Hey. So there's starting the business. There's also the competition. But shout out to your girlfriend. You said she's here. I hope that we can see her as time goes on.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Blessing.
Thank you.
Gabriela.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello. Good evening. And thank you for putting on your video. At least you're giving me motivation that, I can see someone's face.
My name is Gabriela Okenye, and it feels so good to be a part of this class. This is literally my first voiceover class ever. And my why is, first off, I want to improve on my craft, sharpen my craft. And I also want to learn more about the voiceover industry and the business of voiceover. And I'm looking forward to learn more, gain more knowledge, and also network and connect with talent here. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, made it easier for you, I'm sure. But thank you so much. All right, that random Yoruba guy.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Or evening.
Good evening from here. Depends on where you are.
I'm currently in Accra, Nigeria. So my name is Iyanolua, and my wife for joining this voiceover classes. Actually, I've always had interest in voiceovers. I didn't know at the time that it was called voiceover. There was this audio I remember listening to while growing up by MI Undisputed, and it was just voices, no sound, but from the voices I could picture things. I could it was a whole story just from listening to those voices and all that. It was the only one in the audio, but then I could bring a whole lot of things. So at that time I think I developed interest. So growing up I had that at the back of my mind. So recently I joined the drama unit in church, and we had a lot of recordings and stuff, and I was opportune to like be a narrator for the whole script and stuff. Somebody mentioned it to me, my friend mentioned it to me, Shalom, and she was like, you know what, you have a flair for this thing. Why not just, do it professionally and that kind of thing. So I was like, okay. And then she introduced me to the class and the whole thing. And here I am today. So thank you.
Here you are today. Welcome to class. All right, thank you. The hands are getting more. Okay, Joy, Samuel, Jim, Isabella. I don't know if that's the pronunciation, but all right. So let's just take that. Please, if you have spoken, drop your hand. Gabriela and Oluwatobi, I see that your hands are still up. Okay, Joy, quickly.
Hi, Kingy. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
I'm glad to finally be doing this. I've been following for years, and I've been attempting to enroll, but this is really huge for me. So my why is, first off, I'm an event host professionally.
Right.
I host events. I'm in the media space. I also do like comms and branding for companies, and this feels like a major ingredient. I have H factor, right? I catch myself with some funny accent here and there, and I just feel like investing in this would really enhance me and make me a better person at this craft. It was part of my goals for last year. I missed it, so I had to carry it over to this year. So here I am.
It is good. Thank you for joining. And carry over doesn't mean you cannot scale over. Amen. So welcome on board, and it's good to
Amen.
Thank
you.
And the good thing about the H factor is that you catch yourself. I mean, your problem is almost solved. The challenge usually if you do not, that's where the big deal is. But you're on the right track. Samuel.
Okay, hi. Good
Hello,
evening.
Samuel. Good evening.
Yes. Okay. My name is Samuel, obviously, and I'm really excited to be part of this class. And why is because I find voiceovers really interesting. Actually, I've been interested in it since COVID, but I haven't had the opportunity to start, or I didn't even know how to start and whatnot. But I think I've had a little experience. I was a news presenter back in school, so yeah, that was like a little experience for me. So yeah, but this is just for me to gain new skills and explore the whole art of voiceovers and whatnot. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that and for joining the class. Isabella. Hello, Isabella. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Isabella. Hey, Isabella. Isabella, you're not here. All right, let's go on. If we cannot, peace.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Hello, good evening, peace.
Yeah, thank you very much, King E, for this opportunity. So my name is Ladune Peace, and I'm from Nigeria, Ekiti State, presently. So I'm here to learn the professional part of voiceover and also get blueprint on how King E has been able to effectively maximize his voice so much that he's been making money from it. I'm also a public speaker, so I want to improve my public speaking skills. And it was this year I started to host events. So
Right.
I want to improve on those skills. Funny enough, I've been seeing this voiceover workshop, voiceover, but it has always been physical. So I've been looking at it, hey, how will I travel to Lagos? And I'm still a student. So it has been more like I will have to multitask and it's going to take a lot. So it has not been really feasible. But when I got this opportunity, I'm like, hey, this one must not pass me by. So I decided to join. So I decided to join, and I'm so glad to be here. I'm very, very glad. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Peace. Vivian and Isabella, okay, those two, and then we jump right into me talking and then you also talking. All right, let's go quickly.
Hello, okay. Good evening.
All right, so I'll do that again. Vivian, then Isabella. Let's do that.
All right. Good evening, sir. My name is Vivian Inibo. Actually, I am a diction instructor.
I already heard it. Go on.
Okay, sir. So I look forward to improving on my skills. And there is something I want to learn from this, the ability to use the voice to act and also to make money out of it. So that's something I look forward to learning. And also, all right, sir.
Go on.
And also, I've been wanting to do this for a very long period. So this is a dream come true for me. And I'm actually hoping to give it my best and implement everything I learn. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Thank you so much. All right, Isabella.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Okay, my name is Isabella. I'm a realtor. So I sell lands and buildings and all that. So my why is I want to be able to converse with my prospects and confidently make them buy lands for me. You know, I want to, yes, and I don't want to sound childish because my voice is a little bit, I want to be able to be, yes, so yes, that's my why. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. This is good. Thank you, everyone, for talking. For those who did, one thing that is clear here is that we all have a reason or the other. Some of the reasons started without us knowing, right? Someone said, "Oh, you have a good voice." Maybe you called someone over the phone and they're like, "You really have a good voice. You should do something with it." Or maybe you just realized that I think my voice sounds nice, and maybe I could try doing voiceover. And some of us is like, okay, there's something I'm already doing. I want to go into public speaking. I sell lands and properties. I interface or interact with clients, and I should have control of my voice and know, exactly what to say and how to say it. Regardless of your reason, right? You should know that everything is possible. Whatever it is that you're gunning for, it's possible. And one of the things, or one of the reasons why you should always remember and think of your reason is because as time goes on, you might start forgetting your why. Okay, so at intervals, you want to ask yourself, why did I even start this journey? So that when you're forgetting, you can remind yourself. Okay, when things are not working as you want them to work, you can remind yourself, this is why I started. All right. You also need to remove the fact that because your voice sounds sweet, doesn't mean you can do voiceovers. Okay. Because voiceover is really not about sweet voice. Voiceover is about interpreting a character using the right emotion and the right expression. Your voice might be sweet, but cannot interpret the character with the right emotion and expression. So it's not about sweet voice. It is about knowing what you're supposed to do part time. But we'll get into that as we go on. Okay. Now, keep your mind at rest. This is an interesting industry. Okay. I have been in the voiceover industry. I started counting the year I made my first 100,000 naira as a voiceover artist, and that was 2011. Give or take 12, 13 years, I believe. That was when I started counting. And from that time till now, I have not stopped doing voiceover. I don't think there's any week that I do not record voiceovers. Sometimes a couple of days in a week, sometimes once in a week, sometimes 3 times in a week, sometimes 4 times in a week, depending on how much jobs and the period. Okay, so I can confidently say that I can teach you voiceover. Okay. Now,
yes, sir.
Look at this man. I see you. All right. Just give me a second, please. Now, how did I start? Let me talk about my story a bit so that you know why I said I can teach you voiceover. I grew up as a very timid child. I didn't like to talk to anyone. I didn't like to get involved in children playing because I didn't have the strength and energy for it. You will not catch me arguing or being involved in any argument. You won't catch me unnecessarily saying what I'm not supposed to say or being in a place where I'm not supposed to be. I will not fight. I will not climb a tree. I will not climb anything that has height. I was that timid, okay? But at some point in my life, I realized that it was important, right, for me to get out of that behavior because I felt like I had so much to say, but I couldn't say them because I was too afraid. Okay, so I was picked on in school at different points in time, and I deliberately told myself that there was need to start speaking up. So one of the first things I started doing was being a bit more attentive in class, trying to find questions to ask even when there were no questions to ask. Right? Started putting myself out there, joined the debating society at some point, the debating club at some point, got into stage acting. Okay. And all of those things helped me a great deal. And then at some point in my life, I was a gospel recording rap artist. All right. So I was always in the studio. I was always on stage. Okay. So that to a very large extent helped my confidence to face the crowd, to present and all that. And then at some point, I started interning as a radio presenter. I did a bit of radio and a bit of online television, for some time. And all that put together is part of King E that you see. Okay. And I started listening to certain, radio shows while growing up. For people who are as old as I am, back in the days, Chief Zebediah, that's the New Masquerade, all of these guys. I have a couple of their lines, but hopefully I will say I'll do them, as we go on into the class. It's too early for all that, right? But what I was listening to started helping me. And then I intentionally started speaking in a way. Some people see me now, hear my voice now, and they're like, King E, hey, hey. And I say one thing, I say, listen, what you hear is a combination of many years. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I didn't sound as good as this. I'm saying this so that you will give yourself some time to grow. A lot of the time people see that, every other day, if I'm not in the studio recording voiceovers, I'm probably teaching voiceover. If I'm not teaching voiceover, I'm probably emceeing or, hosting a particular event. Okay. So my life to a very large extent revolves around using my voice every other day. So as I speak to you, I do not make money from just being a voiceover artist. All right. I make money from being a voiceover artist, from being an MC. I host events and, red carpets and shows and stuff like that. Okay. I make money from teaching voiceovers. I also make money from producing voiceover projects. Okay. So I might be producing a project and my voice is not even on it, but I would still make money. All right. Now, when we started Voiceover Workshop 2019, I was just me. Okay. And I think the date was March 11th, and I posted the first logo for Voiceover Workshop and Media. And it was not even registered as a business with the Corporate Affairs Commission. I think it was 1 or 2 years later that we officially registered the business as a voiceover production training company. All right. Presently, we have people doing different things. All right. We have a COO, we have accountants, we have social media, we have guys in engineering and all that. Right. But I started without knowing that I was going to, without knowing anything called voiceover. That was how I started. I was always in the studio because I was a music recording artist, right? And my producer, Mr. Walls, would say, you have a good voice, you can do voiceovers. And was like, okay, voiceover, I don't know what's that. So you speak very well, come and read this thing. And that time, I mean, I was a rapper, first of all, right? So I felt like maybe that was why. Okay. But I did it. It was practically for free all the time. Okay. And then at some point I felt like, okay, I wanted to look a bit closer into this thing. So generally your journey, how you started, is really not as important as where you're going. You can start rough, you can start as though it's nothing, you can start well, you can start, it really doesn't matter. What you do from right now that you're getting professional training, what you do from now to till you decide that you don't want to be a voiceover artist anymore, is what's important. And this journey is individualistic. There is no voiceover artist that is identical to another voiceover artist. We are all different. And one of the best things that can happen to you is embrace your superpower. Your superpower is the, those things that you can do just you. You do them the way you do them. That's your superpower. That's where you will thrive. And this is applicable even as a voiceover artist. Presently, I do not think there's any voiceover training institute that is doing close to anything Voiceover Workshop is doing in the entire of Africa. When it comes to production, when it comes to training students, when it comes to the ideas and platforms that we have created, okay, to help the industry grow. I do not think there's any, voiceover institute that is doing that. Nigerian Voice Acting Contest was the first ever voiceover contest in Nigeria, and is still the only that has happened so far. Lasted for 6 weeks, drilled students for 6 weeks, evicted those that were not as good as the others, and we had winners. And the winner today is a fast-growing voiceover artist in Nigeria and even in Africa, right? The voiceover conference is still Africa's pioneer voiceover conference. The last time I checked, 5 years, we're working towards the 5th edition of the voiceover conference, right? And now all of this, okay, started from, during the lockdown, we did something called Voice of the Week. Voice of the Week, what we did was every week we send out a script, people would voice, because we were all at home. Nobody knew what to do, right? But we wanted to keep the pace, and people would record. 4 weeks in, someone said, oh, how about I sponsor? And every week after that, for the next 6 weeks, each person was winning 35,000 naira every week, okay? And that time, we were all home. There were no jobs, right? And we did that, and it was amazing. Okay? So all of this came out of me not knowing what voiceovers were, or if I was going to be a voiceover artist or not. All of this came out of someone who was too timid to be involved in any conversation. All right? That simply says that you can do better, that you can do bigger things. Okay? Now, if you must succeed as a voiceover artist, wherever you are, whatever country, you need to break certain limitations that are, that a lot of people see voiceover as. Now, one of the things that you must take out of your mind is that voiceover is limited to recording behind the microphone. A lot of people, when you hear voiceover, what you think about is someone who puts a script in front of them and recording. MTN by Big Brother Naija is. That's all you see. Or someone that puts it doesn't matter what language, whether you're Ghanaian, whether you're Kenyan, whatever, whether you're Nigerian, whether it is pidgin scripts, Nigerian pidgin, or proper English or Igbo or Yoruba, it doesn't really matter. You must ensure that you do not limit voiceover to recording behind the microphone. I tell people that voiceover is your everyday. Voiceover is what you do on a daily basis. Because the essence of voiceover is to communicate an idea, communicate a message, disseminate a message using the proper, or using the right emotion, using the right expression. And one of the things that you do as a voiceover artist is to convince. You are sending out a message for a purpose. So it simply tells me that if you want someone to buy something, You can be a voiceover artist even if you're interacting with the person face to face. All you need to do is to apply your voiceover skills with, and that application will bring the result. Yes, of course, you can't be talking to someone and you say, hey, my brother, it is time for you to come and buy this, my land. While you're looking at the person, no, that's not the idea. Okay. The idea is that you're able to convince the person, knowing the tone of voice, knowing the range to apply, knowing how confidently you should sound. Okay? That's the whole idea. And when you get into an office, for instance, and you open your mouth, the people around there should not wonder. They should automatically know that this person has something they do with their voice. So would you rather someone asks you, what do you do? And you say voiceover artist and voiceover, and they say, oh, okay. Or the person says, what do you do? I say, I'm a voiceover artist. Say, oh, okay. Which would you rather? Ask yourself that question. All right. Now let's go into voiceover as it that will help you grow. Are you ready? If you're ready, I am ready. So the question is, what is voiceover? Now, when you think about it, what is voiceover? Please, it's time to be conversational. So if you don't want to speak, you can leave a chat and would find a way to see if it's possible for us to read that chat. But if not, please do well to put up a hand, signify by a raise of hand, and then speak. Okay. I also need you to understand that voiceover is about who we see, the person that we know, that we see. That's the person we recognize. And growth starts most of the time from class. Because if you're very active in class, you realize that more people will know you. And that is growth. That is some level of growth. So I would just advise you as much as possible. There are some students that have gone through the voiceover workshop that I don't even know. There are some that I have called for jobs. There are some that I've called, we are doing this event. Come and be the host, because I know them. And when they were in class, they were very active. And a whole lot of other people know them as well. So please, without consulting ChatGPT or ChatGPT or Google or Juggle, what is voiceover? Peace.
All right, good evening once again. So voiceover is more like the voice that we hear and the face that we don't see. So it's more like providing or giving the narration of something, or using our voice to convey a particular message while our emotions also is in it.
All right. Thank you so
Representing a
much.
character. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Peace. That was good. You did well to, you just gathered everything together. At the end of the day, it sounds good. It sounds right. It's just about right. So thank you so much. John.
Oh, good evening. I actually wanted to say what Peace said, because from
So
what
Peace,
I
you have said John's lines. Please.
yeah. However, you talked about narration, through emotions to convey information. I think that stuck with me. So I think I would say voiceover is a technique where we use our voices and emotions to tell a story, to pass an information. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I don't think there are wrong answers, right? When people are responding to questions like this, you can still get your knowledge from that. You can still jot a few things down. All right. Don't say King E is the only one that is right. No, that's not how it works. Okay, Gabriela. Oh, Megan before Gabriela. Sorry. I see Megan is there. Hands up.
I would say voiceover is the art and science of conveying messages effectively to your audience so
The
that they
art
would
and
know
science.
then they would know to appreciate it, to learn from it, whatever your reason is for communicating. If it's for information, to inspire, whatever your reason is, using that art and science to convey that message effectively.
Convey the message. You know, that's beautiful. That sounds like an educated definition, and I like it. Thank you so much, Megan, for that one. Gabriela.
Hello.
Hello.
What I understand about voiceover is being able to use your voice to pass a message clearly to your listeners, and also being able to bring life into a script.
All right. Thank you so much. Pass on a message, bring life into a script. Very spot on. Voices of Ruby. Is that Ruby or Robbie? Please correct me. Which one? You know, say.
Okay, it's Robbie. Robbie.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay, so sorry, I just stepped out to get filled. So a voiceover is I would say it's a recording technique where a person, a voiceover artist interprets a script properly and then uses their voice to convey the message from the script to their intended audience, to the particular audience.
All
So
right.
that's what a voiceover
Thank
is.
you. Thank you so much for that one, Voices of Robbie. Joy, we have Effie and we have Nino Lua.
All right. I think voiceover is acting out different characters. That's what I think it is.
All right. Acting out different characters. All right. Some points in there. Thank you so much. FA. What does FA stand for?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Fadikemi Adekunle.
Fadikemi Adekunle. All right.
Yes, those are my
Thank you so much.
initials.
Your initials. All
So,
right.
from my own perspective, what I understand voiceover to be is like passing a message across to a target audience through voice.
Through your voice. All right.
Yes, that's just
Thank
simply
you.
what I feel.
Thank you. Thank you. Nino Lua.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay, for me, voiceover is a vocal art of expression in the most creative and rawest form.
Wow. Some people are deep. Oh, Kai. All right. Thank you so much for that one. May, final person, I believe. I think that's all. All right.
Okay, my name is May. Good evening.
Hello.
I think voiceovers involve using your voice to channel your emotions, to express yourself to your target audience, using nothing else but your voice. I think that's it for me.
All right. Thank you so much. Truth, everyone is correct. That simply means that there are diverse definitions. Let me read some comments. Voiceover is the ability of using your vocal cords to act while passing a message across. Okiki Jesu. Okay. Damilola says voiceover is technique of portraying a character with your emotions using your voice. Gladys, voiceover, I would say, is confidently using your voice to uniquely convey a message to your target audience such that they understand and interpret as should be. Okay. Which one didn't I read? Joanne is giving rhymes, narration through emotions to convey information. O'Shea, bad guy. Voiceover is a form of delivery and communication. Tokula Angela. All right. So now one thing or some of the things that we have established is, first of all, you have to apply your voice for you to be a voiceover artist, right? So the word is voice over. The word is what? Voice over. It simply means that the only way you can be a voiceover artist is when you have a voice. Without a voice, your voiceover career is over because it is voice over. Take out the voice, all you would have left is over. So your voice is important. Pay attention to it. Take care of it. But let's come back to our definition. Voiceover. We've defined it perfectly well. We've defined the term voiceover, all right, perfectly well. I would just want to add that voiceover is the ability, or it is interpreting a character or a message, like I've been saying, using two things: the right emotion and the right expression, usually in an audio recording scenario. Okay? Interpreting a character using the right emotion and the right expression, usually in an audio recording scenario. Now, this audio can be used for film, television programs. It can be used for, TV shows, like, well, of course, television programs and the likes, okay? Or even online platforms. But generally, one thing that you must be able to do as a voiceover artist is to interpret a character or a message using the right emotion and the right expression. Some definitions will tell you that it is the voice of an unseen person recorded or heard over an audio, film, live events, radio, or TV commercial. Now, the reason some of these, terms are important is because voiceover most of the time is not general. Like, the entire project does not start and stop on the table of a voiceover artist. When you record a voiceover, it is used for something. It is used for, a video. It is put on radio. It is put, it is added to a film. Okay. That is why, or an event, live announcements, stuff like that. That is where you use voiceover. Okay. So we can say it is interpreting a character or message using the right emotion and the right expression, usually pertaining to film, television, live events, and so on and so forth. It can also be the voice of an unseen person, recorded, heard over an audio, film, live event, radio, or TV commercial. Okay. Now we have more comments coming in. Voiceover is the ability to interpret a script using your voice. Without the voice, your voiceover is over. That's just the thing. That is it. That's it. I'll say voiceover is a vocal skill in mass communication used to disseminate and interpret a message to a large and heterogeneous audience using your voice and emotions to give a detailed information. This one is deep. Oh, are you sure you did not consult some oracles to get this depth out here? Well, thank you, everyone. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. I think it is good. All right. Now, if you have any question in the course of us talking or having this gist, please do well to ask. Okay, do well to put the question out so that everyone can learn. Now, who is a voiceover artist? Question for the house. Who is a voiceover artist? Okay, I'll just take Joanne, Gabriela, and
Yes, I think the voice-over artist is the person. I mean, artist is the person, the noun, the person who does the voicing, the narration, and everything. So that's what I would say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, John. Who else? Blessing.
Okay, just like Joan have said, voiceover is the person who
A
carry
voiceover
out the job.
artist.
And voiceover artist is the person who carry out the job. The person who carry out the narrator is behind the voice.
Okay, okay. So we can simply say that voiceover is the art. Okay, voiceover artistry is the art and science, right? Art and science, like what's her name? I'm trying to remember your name now. Said
Megan.
Megan, yes, Megan. Like Megan said, it is the art and science. Okay, of this whole thing, it is the art and the science, understanding how the beauty, bringing in the beauty and all that. All right, and then a voiceover artist is the person that simply says that some people are voiceover artists and some people are not. So we can confidently say that a voiceover artist is someone who understands what it means to interpret a character or disseminate the message, or someone who understands the art and science of interpreting a character or disseminating a message using the right emotion and the right expression. That means the person who understands how to apply this, apply that, who understand that when I read a script, that particular script cannot just be words. That script must be words and emotion. That script must be, facial interpretation, body language. It's funny sometimes some people think that, oh, because I do voiceovers, no one sees my face, I do not use my body. No. You have to, your body is involved in the entire process. So a voiceover artist or a voiceover actor, as it were, is someone who understands the art and science of applying or disseminating a message using the right emotion and the right expression. All right. Now, that said, I believe that's understood. That's pretty straightforward. Okay. Now, what is voiceover acting? Okay. What is voiceover acting? Please do not consult any oracle. We have digital oracles these days. Before, when we were growing up, we have in Africa, we a lot of people, had like different things that they serve. People who were herbalists, see, ori afo igirigija kenga witinga ha the gods have said. All right now it is ChatGPT. I just say, what is Ilem? So you see that it shows up. Okay, please do not consult any oracles. All right. What is voiceover acting? What is voiceover acting? Okay, let me start from Clinton.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, to me, voiceover acting is the art of using your voice to interpret a character in a script.
I thought we said that voiceover artistry is the art. So how is voiceover acting still the art?
acting is an art.
Okay, no problem. I'm just trying to be sure if you're sure. All right, Samuel, then Zoza International.
Okay, I think voiceover acting is the art of portraying a character through different emotions and expressions. Yeah. So yeah,
okay, keep it short and simple. Keep it short and simple. Voiceover acting is the art. Okay, no problem. Voiceover acting can be described as portraying a character, one who using. Okay, the thing went off. Well, let me look at it from here. All right, let me Damila Diogo Abi Bankole. I hope that's sorry. I might be cutting your names. It's not intentional.
Yes,
Voiceover
your
acting is
mother
the art of.
name.
Sorry.
Good evening. Your mother
Demilade
name. Good evening,
Ogo.
everyone.
Demilade Ogo. Is that it?
Demilade Ogo.
Demilade Ogo. Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's hear you.
So I believe voice over acting is the process of using or manipulating your voice to suit a particular script.
Thank you. Every other person, thank you so much. I wanted just one word, and that's the word that she added. Process. It is not because what you have said is wrong, but I just wanted that one word. Process. Okay? Process. Because it is voiceover acting. It is a continuous process. It is the process of applying all these other things that we have said before to achieve one goal. So it simply means that there's the art, there's the person, okay, and then there's the process. In the process, you apply the art and the science. And as the person who has the understanding, you can now do what? You can now interpret, and then, of course, the result is better. Am I communicating? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Now, what are some of the things that you must pay attention to as a voiceover artist? What are some of the things? One, your confidence. There's something about confidence that people like, that people believe. Let's put it that way, that people believe. If you're not confident, whether we cannot see your face, we will feel that you're not confident because your voice will tell it to the public that this person is not confident. Your voice does not know how to hide things, except you make it believe that you are saying the right thing. So confidence is one thing that you must pay attention to. When you speak, how confident are you? Because if I am to market this water, and I want to say water is life, and I say it as if I am afraid, I am not sure, nobody is going to buy it. So whether it's a conversational read, whether it is a romantic read, there has to be some element of confidence in there for it to be believed. And you need people to believe what you're saying, and they are convinced when they believe before they can buy. Every brand pays you to sell. Every brand pays you to communicate an idea. Every brand pays you or hires you to, I mean, even if you're selling your own stuff, right? You're considered as the brand, whether you're speaking in public, your confidence will make people feel like you are sure of what you're saying. And that's the only time they will believe. Because confidence also says that you believe in what you're saying. You know, sometimes someone can be lying to you confidently and you will believe. It's not because they were telling you the truth, but because you have looked at it and you feel like this person cannot be lying and be this confident. Imagine that you are now confidently telling the truth. Your confidence level should be higher. So pay attention to your confidence. Another thing that you must pay attention to is clarity. Everything that you say, we must understand, we must hear what you're saying. Some people talk inside of them. Sometimes you speak, some of your words are not heard. You swallow some of your words. As a voiceover artist, as a great voiceover artist, you must have clarity. We must understand what you mean when you say something. Ambiguity is not allowed in voiceover. So you cannot be ambiguous. You cannot say something and I'm wondering, did he say this or did he say that? Was he laughing or was he crying? Clarity is important. And one of the ways to ensure that your words are clear, say your words the way they should be said. Speak the words. Your first and last consonants, they must be clear. We must hear you. That's why you see that no matter, as a lot of great voiceover work out there, no matter how fast paced that particular audio is, you realize that you can hear every word. Buy 5 GB data for this and that. All right, it's clear. It's, that's the essence, clarity. All right. Another thing you must pay attention to is imagination. Imagination. As a great voiceover artist, you must be able to imagine. When you're telling a story, even if it is from your head, if you have kids and you're telling them stories, how are you painting the scenarios to make it a bit beautiful? So you must be imaginative. You must pay attention to putting memories and things in your imagination. You must have the power of observation. When you get into a place, what do you see? When you come in contact with someone, what are the things that you recognize, that you observe about them? How is their mannerism? What color of shirt are they putting on? You must put something in your mind so that when there is a day you need to interpret as that particular character, it is easy for you. You realize that when you're telling kids stories, or even adults, you're telling them a story. There's a difference between saying, I woke up in the morning. You want to tell a story. I woke up in the morning, I took a bath, and I got into the car and drove to work. That is a story. The story started and it ended because you, of course, woke up and you got to work. And that's a story. That is also different when you say, I woke up and the time was 6:30 p.m. I knew I was going to be late if I didn't hasten up what I was doing. So I quickly got up. I took my towel. I dashed into the bathroom, opened the shower. It was cold at first, but I quickly controlled it and I rushed. I took my, my shirt and got dressed, quickly brushed my hair, and I got into the car. When I got to the gate, the security men were not there. And I honked, and they quickly rushed. See, you're telling the story and every detail that made you get. Now, I would be more interested in listening to your story that has all the little details here and there, because it is an experience. So as a voiceover artist, you also want to paint experiences when you're doing your narration for animation. You are the narrator. How are you telling your story? Your imagination. Your imagination. Pay attention to put in. And how do you put things into your imagination? Some people will wonder, oh, you're talking about imagination. How do I? Now, some of the ways. Now, okay, so for people who are in Lagos, Nigeria, apologies for those who are not Nigerians, but of course I'm Nigerian, so I would, it's easier for me to make examples that, are within my reach, okay? For people who are in Lagos, Nigeria, especially, there are some guys that are called Agbero. I mean, if you have ever watched any Nigerian movie, you probably have seen them or somewhere. Agberos are like touts, maybe not touts, but they're like street boys, okay? Who work with public bus drivers, and sometimes they collect money from people. Some of them are not, they're not conductors, but they like are in the garage and creating trouble. Some of them are just doing their work and whatnot, right? But there's a way they talk, okay? Kilo warrior. change, mama. You know, that's how they talk. Now, if you have never encountered an agbero before, it is impossible that you will be able to act that role. It's not because you are unintelligent, but because your imagination does not have that being or that character. So there is nothing you will do. It doesn't matter how long you have been in the voiceover industry. It is not in your mind, that particular character. So if someone says, oh, come and act as an agbero, for instance, you don't know what it is. It is not there. Our experiences are part of our imagination. When you read a book, there's some behavior, some characters, some experiences that goes to your imagination. When you're watching a movie and someone speaks a certain way or walks in a certain way, right? It is in your imagination. When someone tells you a story, it is in your imagination. When you see something while you're walking on the road, it is in your imagination. When you experience something yourself, there are also women who hawk pure water and cold minerals in traffic in Lagos, right? There's a way they sell it. They don't sell it like the everyday guys. You hear things like, cold mineral pure water, cold mineral pure water. They are in that high pitch. That's where they are. If you have never met those women, you've never heard them, there is no way your imagination would have that behavior. So when you're called and someone says, oh, you should sound like the woman in traffic, the only way you'll be able to get it is when maybe a video is played to you or the audio is played to you, and then it sits in your imagination, and you will then be able to interpret that character, understanding the nuances of that character, understanding how that character behaves. That is the only time you will be able to interpret that character. That is why your imagination is very powerful to you interpreting a script. Okay. Another thing is act and art. Act, art. You need to understand that voiceover it is an art. It is an art because we all have what we bring to the table. I said earlier, no two individuals are the same, especially with how they speak. Even identical twins will not speak alike. That is your superpower. You need to understand that you have your spice that you bring into voiceover. And because of that, you have your market. Everybody, you have your market. Tell yourself, I have my market. I have my market. I have my market. Okay? And if you are able to focus on that art, on that individualistic part of your voiceover journey, you have a better chance at succeeding. Now, voiceover is also acting because at different points, you will be required to act. So for those who do not know how to act, it is either you say, okay, I want to focus on just this part of this genre of voiceover, or I learn how to act. Okay. Now you have the options. All of these are open to you to decide. You get to decide where you want to fit in. All right. That is that. So let's go on. Now, voiceover genres. Let's talk about voiceover genres. You know, it's important that we talk about this because a lot of the time, people misunderstand. So when you're a voiceover artist, it's just like you do just one thing, and that thing is radio commercial. All right. That thing is radio commercial, and that's just it. But there are different genres of voiceover. Voiceover genres, voiceover genre. For those people who that's how they call it. All right. Voiceover genre, we have different genres of voiceover. Without consulting any oracles, in the comment section, please, let's hear some voiceover genres you know. Comment section, I am looking in 8, 9, no, in 10, 8. What am I doing? In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and May just dropped gay. Okay, so it simply means that we should just jump and pass, because it's like everybody understands. Favor sweetness. Favor sweetness. Where are you?
I'm here, sir.
Okay. It was only one reason why I called you. One reason, the glasses. That's why I that's why I wanted to. Are you putting them on right now?
No, I'm not.
You are not. Okay. All right. So you see, that's something that I noticed and got interested. So who's this lady with the big glasses? All right. Now let's go. You guys are please, a round of applause for you, all of you. Your brain is working. Everybody's, brain is what? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Everybody's, look at it. Feels like we should just end the class, but they say no. They say we shouldn't end it. Everybody's everybody went to school. This is serious. All right. So let's go. I'll just pick anyone. Animation. Animation. We all know animation, do we not? Yes, animation. Who can explain animation? Any explanation we get from the class, that's our animation explanation. Animation explanation. Rhymes too much. Animation. Without consulting any oracle. Animation. Why is everywhere quiet now? You are not sure of yourself. No confidence.
Okay. Let me go. Let me try.
Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. Let's go.
Okay, so animation voiceover is when a voiceover artist uses their voice to bring a character to life, interpreting the emotions, expressions of the character through their voice. So in animation voiceover, we should be able to tell when a character is angry or happy or sad just from the way they sound. So we're basically interpreting a character with our voice, bringing the character to
voice. Life. All right. So animation is mostly what audio? What medium? What medium?
Okay, video.
Okay. So video, so film, anime, all of that, right?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Okay, animation is that genre of voiceover that is used to bring cartoon characters to life. Okay, thank you so much. Peace. Thank you. All right. So who else? Clinton. Is this old hand raised or new one? Clinton, are you in this class?
I'm here, sir.
Is this hand the old one or a new one?
It has to be the old one.
Okay, take it down. Bring your hands supposed don't tire now. All right, Samuel.
Okay. Animated voiceovers is bringing life to cartoon characters or graphical characters that are drawn, basically. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Samuel. Blessing.
Okay, to my own understanding, animation is bringing characters to life. Could be any animation, cartoon character, it could be any drawing, bringing them to life using your voice, thereby conveying the right character with your emotions and expression.
All right, so basically we have a perfect understanding what the genre of called animation is about. Do we not? Do we not? It's simply everything that you have said. Okay, it is about bringing characters to life, cartoons, animated films, anime, even in video games. Okay, there's also animation in that. All right, so most of the time it is about expression, bringing that expression. You know, in animation, something that is also very heavy is acting. It thrives on acting. So many producers or casting directors work with people who either are already film actors or they're stage actors and also voiceover artists. They specifically look out for that most of the time, aside the voice, of course. All right. So for animation, we depend heavily, because one of the things you're doing is you're portraying characters with depth and personality. That is what you're doing. Sometimes there's a lot of exaggeration, okay, in those characters, tweaking of your voice, bringing things to life, bringing new characters or new behavior to life. That is a genre of voiceover. So that's also voiceover, just in case you are part of the people that think voiceover is just about recording for radio and television commercial. Or you have someone within your network that thinks that. Now you can tell them boldly, say, come closer, let me tell you something about life. All right, so that's animation. The next one is narration. Narration. Who can tell us something about narration? Whatever definition we get, that will be the definition. I'm just joking. I'll still explain it. But narration, let's go. Narration. Quick. Please, I want everyone. Some people are just the same people answering. Please, let's not make our class that interesting. Let's make it a bit more interesting. All right. You should be part of what's happening. Let's all of us, okay, conversate. All right. Okay, so please, if you have answered before, in fact, I want you not to raise your hand. Bring it down. Let's challenge these people. Narration is that voiceover genre that has to do with narrating or telling a story about something. All right. If you have answered before, don't raise your hand. Zoza International, I'm not sure. Have you answered? iPad. Who is iPad? iPad, please, let us hear from you. iPad. I know that's not your name, but it feels good to call it regardless. iPad, your hand is up, except you don't know what name is. Aha! There goes iPad. iPad, you're far away.
Okay, can you hear me?
Hello, iPad.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Let's go. It's not very loud, but I think we can work with that.
Okay, my name is Jessica. So narration is the process of telling a story or talking about something, audiobook, voices, expressing our emotions of what the script would look like
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. I didn't hear a lot of the things you said, but I know that you said it is about telling a story. You spoke about audiobook as well. So thank you so much. You're right. Michael, I'm not going to call anybody that said something in the class today. So Gabriela, may your hand be down, sir. Vema. You can just leave a comment, okay? If you have said something, leave your comment. Johnson, Michael, Zoza, I think Zoza said something earlier. But okay, let's just take 3 people.
Things to do. Sorry for interrupting.
I didn't hear you.
I was saying that Zoza hasn't said anything today.
All right, Zoza, let's hear from you then.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, so I would say narration. There definitely has to be a narrator for narration to hold, which means that something is being presented, right? And it's the acting over what is being presented, either images or something. So yes, that's how I would explain narration.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Zoza. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Who's Johnson and Michael?
Okay, can everyone hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Narration is that part of voiceover that requires you to use your voice to narrate a story or to read a script about narration.
That's very deep. It's just that you use narrate and narration in defining narration. You know what I mean? It would have been better. It would have been better to not use those words, but it's absolutely fine. Thank you so much, Michael. Johnson.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for the
Elizabeth.
privilege.
Sorry, I take that back. Elizabeth.
All right, thank you. So narration is the art of using your voice to like convey information, like tell a story, provide commentary, like a book or anything of sort, really. That's
All
my
right.
thoughts.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Really appreciate that one. Anu, because you have not said anything.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Narration is how a story is being said by using the right emotion and expression.
Oh, wow. Okay, that sounds like voiceover, but okay, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let me take some chats. Narration is basically storytelling. Narration is how a story is being said using our voice with the right expression. Okay, that's Anu now. Narration is all about telling a story, biography, a documentary in detail using your voice. Narration is giving an overview of a scene, a plot, a story with your voice. Narration is simply giving account of an event. All right. We are all correct. Thank you so much, everyone. Narration involves providing a voiceover for documentaries, educational videos, audiobooks, instructional materials. Okay, all that. That's what you do. So I think there are different ways. You know, voiceover can be very tricky. Narration, the way you read for narration, is different from the way you read for commercial. Is different from the way you do your animation. That is also something that you will learn as you grow, you know, in the industry. You need to understand that when you're recording for narration, you're telling a story. Now, one thing is important, our understanding of life, because we went to school, we're educated, we know how to behave. There's also some things that are natural that we add to the voiceover work that we do. So when you're telling someone a story, the story will carry the emotion of the topic of the narration. sometimes. Okay, you're telling a story, and in narration, the degree of acting is almost zero. You're just telling a story. You're not necessarily acting entirely, except of course there are some situations where you're expected to act, right, or say certain things. That's why you see sometimes in some animation, you hear a narrator narrating the whole thing. The person is just telling you the story, carrying you through the times and the seasons and all that. The person is not necessarily acting all the things out, okay, but the person is taking you on a journey and giving you pictures, painting pictures in your mind to help you understand better what they're talking about. All right. Let me see the chat. What someone said something there. It says, what's that? Narration is third person perspective. Narration doesn't have to be third person perspective, really. Okay, it can be first person. It can be, okay, it just depends. All right. Okay, let's go on. Is that understood? Any questions so far? Do we have questions? We should have questions, shouldn't we? I hope we are still all in this class. Who is missing? If you know anyone that is no more in this class, please call them. Call them and ask them why they are not in this class. Is Megan still in this class? Zoza International, is your hand up? Or, Megan, I see you. All right. Okay, let's go on. Commercial. We can say commercial and jingles, radio commercials and jingles, radio, TV commercials and jingles. That's another genre of voiceover. Now, who wants to explain? Who wants to give something? Who wants to say something about commercials or jingles? Now, actually, I also want to clear something, okay? A misconception of a lot of us voiceover artists and even clients. Oluwatobi, let's go.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much. I'm really enjoying the class. Commercials have to do with promoting products and services from different companies. Yeah. To also apply the basic principles of voiceover. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Who else? Gabriela, Michael. Okay, let's just take Gabriela. And Gabriela, don't I know you? Is this the name I know you with? I don't think so.
It's Voice Umbrella, sir.
Aha, that's you now.
Voice over Sound Challenge last year.
Yes.
So commercial voiceover has to do with being able to sell a product or service by passing certain message of a brand to the targeted audience using your voice. So your voice is meant to be able to sell that product or service that a certain brand is trying to put into the market. And in commercial voiceover, most of the times it involves more energy in your voice. Like your listeners, they need to feel the energy, they need to feel the vibe. You need to captivate them with your voice. So
okay, that's something that we need to talk about. Whether for it to be commercial, you need energy. All right, but thank you. That's really good. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's just go on. I think the purpose of commercial is really for marketing. Okay, commercial. It's really for marketing or advertising. Okay, and it is mostly for radio or television. All right, it is the process where you communicate or sell a product or a service using your voice as a voiceover artist. Okay, and the purpose is to be used for marketing. It's for marketing purpose for radio and television. Okay, and The aspect of whether it needs to be heavy, that's really relative. It just depends on what's the client. You need to know that the client is the one that determines the tone and emotion that should follow, right? Because of course the copywriter writes the scripts, but the client usually would approve whether they want to work with that emotion or not. Now, a lot of commercials are heavy. They want it upbeat, they want the energy and all that, but that doesn't mean that there's some commercials. In fact, these days commercials are a lot more, they're getting more and more conversational. Okay, it doesn't change the fact that it is a commercial. It is all about selling. If you can, and in selling, you don't necessarily have to shout or give energy to sell. If it is a conversational, dialogue, right? And that's what the selling is. That is what it is. Okay, that brings me to the fact that even in commercial, there's hard sell and soft sell. There's hard sell and soft sell. Hard sell can, we can say just with the name, say it is hard, right? And then soft sell, you have to be soft and be human and stuff. But then the other part of hard sell and soft sell is that hard sell tells you buy, come and buy. While soft sell doesn't necessarily tell you to buy. Okay, so if I say, John, I'll get to it. Let me just finish saying what I want to say. All right, so pay attention to that. Soft sell, hard sell. It's important that you also pay attention to that. Now, I can say buy 5 gigabytes data of MTN and blah blah blah. Experience fast internet connection and stuff like that. Okay. I can say that you should buy, come and buy, go to this, call this, and buy. I can also say the 5 gigabyte data for MTN will allow you experience this and that and give you peace of mind as you go on in life. MTN. I have not told you to buy anything, but I've sold it. It's also a commercial. So hard sell, soft sell. Hard sell can be the energy differences. It can also be the way the message is communicated. Okay? So please pay attention to that. Okay, before I say the next thing that I wanted to say, what is that? Joanne, okay, ask your question.
Yes, thank you. I kind of disagree that it has to be, for the commercial, it has to be all hard energy. But you also said that the client has a role to play in that. What about the product? Don't you think that the type of product you're advertising or selling can either alter if it's going to be all hard energy or soft energy? I don't know if you get my question.
Okay, I get your question, but to just be clear, I didn't say it has to be all hard energy, right? I think Gabriela mentioned that, and I try to say that no, it doesn't have to be. That it can be hard, it can be soft, right? It can be soft depending on first 2 things. The first one is what the copywriter has written, the scripts that you have, right? And the second determinant would be what the client wants. It really doesn't matter whether it is the product. If the client says, my product is for babies, but I want it to be, hey, babies, this is what, that is the direction that you go. Or if the script says that, you're supposed to not be soft, or you're supposed to be soft, even if it's supposed to be high, that's the direction. Now, as a voiceover artist, you need to understand that you do not have control over what is written. And sometimes you do not even have control over how it is said, but most of the time you have control how it is interpreted. Because a producer will say, oh, this is what I want. I want energy. I want the youthful vibe and all that. But the way it is interpreted is dependent on you, how you interpret the vibe. So we cannot entirely say that the product should determine it. If the client, what if the client says, no, I do not want this energy for this thing, even though this is my product? Which is why I said two things, mainly the script. If you have a good script or a bad script, it might come out bad or good. The direction of the script also will also lead you. As a voiceover artist, one of the things that you must learn to do is to follow direction. You must learn how to follow direction. And in working with different brands and scripts over the years, that is one thing that will help you succeed as well. You know how to follow direction. Now, this is not to say that you cannot make suggestions, but you also have to consider a few things before making your suggestions. First one is, do you have any relationship with the client or even the producer? They're just calling you to come into the studio and they already have a perfect direction of how they want it to go. Now, you need to know that you're not the one paying the money. You are the one just recording. Now, aside that, before a script gets to you as a voiceover artist, it has gone through a few tables before it gets to you. First of all, if you've ever worked in an agency, how it works is that the agencies are, they're signed to a particular brand, right? And each time they need to produce voiceover projects or whatever, they go to the agency. Now, the agency has a copywriter. The copywriter starts work. They have brainstorming sessions. They go back and forth and all that. They have an idea of how they want the script to go, and then they write the script. They take it to the MD or CEO, and he looks at it and he says, okay, tweak this, change that, change that. They send it to the client. The client says, oh, no, I don't want this one. They go back, they write it again and again and again, and there's back and forth, maybe for a month and all that. And by the time they say, okay, this is good, could be a couple of weeks as well. Could just be a couple of days too, right? I say, okay, this is fine. Please, we need a voiceover artist. And then they call you. And you say, you can't say the script is not good. You can't say, oh, this is not supposed to be like this, right? You can suggest it. And sometimes if they allow you, you record what they sent and then give them an option of what you feel it should be. That is if they give you the chance. Now, there are some projects that the clients are in the session with you. They are telling you, okay, this is how we want it. One of the things that you want to also learn to do is to know how to work, with direction as regards that as well. So generally, we cannot say commercial has to be hard sell or soft sell because of the product. Yes, the product might also determine, because sometimes if the client sells a particular product, they might want a particular tone for their product, over time. But we cannot cap it on that and say this is how it must be, because the client can also decide that, no, I don't want it to be this way anymore. I want it this way. Your work as a voiceover artist is not to say, oh, but this should be the tone of your brand now. Why will you? No, your work is to say, okay, fine. And you deliver. At the end of the day, if the client is happy, you are happy, you're paid, everybody is fine. And we pray for more jobs in the future. Okay, Gabriela, you have a question? Isabella, you have a question? Because your hands are up. No questions? Gabriela.
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Do you have a question, please?
Yes, I have a question.
All right, please ask your question.
Okay, so sir, in a situation where a client doesn't even give you a description of the kind of tone to use for a script, they just send the script and they ask you to just voice it. They don't tell you if it's soft or hard sell. They just send the script and say, okay, I need a voiceover for this. Right. So how do you deal with such situation?
Two things. First one is you ask. There's no clients that won't answer you if you ask them. There is none. Okay, that's one of the things that you need to also learn to do. If there's something written in a script that I don't know how to pronounce, ask the client. If you feel that the direction is not clear enough, ask the client. It is better that you ask them than recording multiple times because you didn't ask. And a lot of clients are open. Most clients that I've worked with, or producers, they are open to telling you what you want to know if they have the answers. Okay. Second thing is you are a professional. At some point, you're supposed to know what kind of tone should suit a particular script. At least have one or two options, right? That when you see a script, you feel like, okay, this script should be this. The reason that is important is there are some clients who are probably they run their personal businesses, but they want the voiceover, but they don't exactly know how the direction should go. You are the professional. They should be able to depend on you to give them some form of direction. That is a plus. And it is good to have that, as something. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Isabella.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening again.
So what if I am my client and I'm also doing my voice over by myself?
And do it
So
now. Okay, go.
so I'm trying to, get my audience to let me use what I'm doing to buy a house and I'm making a video of it. How do I know what type of tone to use to pass an information that will grab the audience attention?
Now that's you either have to have the skill of writing or the skill of acting, or your imagination has to be working. One of them must be working for you. Some of these things you just have to. It's either you get a copywriter to write something, or you can explain to yourself what you intend to achieve with what you want to record. There has to be that. So you have to have a direction. Do you understand? As someone who wants to record for their product, for their brand, or want to share an idea that is theirs, you have to think about it. You have to tell yourself, the barest minimum, you should have a concept. And that concept should fail. Someone say, explain to yourself. You are not nice. You are not nice, Michael. Okay? You have to be able, there has to be a direction. It is either if you cannot do it, then you have to get a copywriter. But funny thing is, you also have to explain to the writer what they should write, what you're trying to achieve. So bottom line, you must have an idea that you're trying to disseminate. Okay? Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, it does.
Gabriela, are you
Thank
putting, is your hand up again, or that's the old one? Is there any genre that is gender sensitive? Denike? Yes, there are, but not outrightly. Okay. There are some brands that are gender sensitive because a male voice or a female voice will sell it better. Okay. Sometimes it's also about target audience. Now, if I have a brand that sells something for ladies, for instance, let's say sells bras and all of those things, it will be weird to hear a man selling that kind of product. It will be like there's a disconnect in the communication, because in the natural realm of things, you never hear a guy talk about stuff like that to their fellow guys or even ladies. All right. When you want to sell something, children, things that are child focused, most of the time, most often than not, they use female voices, mothers. It just makes natural sense, because a mother is closer to the child. The mother knows what the child wants. Okay. When my daughter is crying, sometimes I have zero idea why she's crying, but my wife will tell me that she's hungry or she wants to sleep. For me, it's just like, why are you crying? So if you want to sell anything to that will be useful to the child, the quickest way to sell it will be, to the mother or from the mother, because the mother is a center point. The mother can influence the father to bring money to buy it. The mother can also, influence the buying decision because she knows the child better. You need to know that everybody's in business to sell. And when it comes to selling, you have to apply certain principles that will benefit you as a brand. So I would say that that's why you see that a lot of brands that sell like beer, Gouda, okay, Guinness, you will rarely hear a female voice, because when you go to bars and all that, you see a lot of men. Men drink a lot of, these things than females do. Okay, so it's easier to sell to the people who are in need of that particular thing using the voice that is that has some resemblance with their voices, or the personality that is like they say, okay, this is our own. All right. You can't hear me selling, you can't hear a voice selling wig now that is male selling wig. Why will I be selling wig? Okay, so that's just the basic explanation. Favor, you have a question. Gabriela, do you have another question, or that's one last question? Based on personal experience, I need an advice and enlightenment on what, please? Gabriela, sorry.
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
What's this question?
Okay. I don't know if I should ask this question in this particular session, like in this class, but I just feel the need to ask.
Ask,
because there are some clients that they'll tell you they need a 1 minute voiceover recording, and then they just send a bunch of write-up that is not even a script. When you ask for a script, that is what they send to you.
Okay.
So most of the times we just keep going back and forth, and at the end of the day, I draft a script myself, because I let them know that this is not a script, it's just a bunch of write-up about what you want me to voice. So, and then the challenge now is they don't pay for the extra service that you render. And as a professional that I try to be, I try not to be rude about it, and sometimes it actually affects me. So I don't know how to keep handling situations like this, because to be honest, it can be really annoying and draining.
Yeah. You need to understand that you're in business, and when you're in business, you meet different clients, and you need to have the grit to go through all of those clients and still be fine. Okay, your mental health is important, your business health is also important. Now, most of the time these things happen because of lack of understanding. When the Bible says that, my people perish for lack of knowledge, I think that's why it happens. You need to understand that scripting or copywriting is a different job from voiceover. Okay. And yes, it's understandable. Sometimes when you're growing, you have to do all of these things to gain the experience and, get the stamina, and it's totally fine. So you need to know what level you are. If you're not in my level and you don't think you can handle it, you can as well just be helping them, because at the end of the day, you get the job done, they still pay you, some money still come into your hand, and I think that's like the most important. So to help your mind, you need to decide where you are. If you're in the learning phase and growing phase, those clients will come, those kind of people. It's not because they don't want to give you a script, or because some of them have never done it. Some of them do not know how to put together a script, which is why I say that sometimes as voiceover artists, you need to understand, all right, some things. You need to know how to do some things, okay? Scripting, writing short scripts, putting all of these things together, right? There are a couple of things that I know how to do that help me every day as a voiceover artist, okay? Sometimes I get more money paid to me, sometimes simply because I have that additional skill. So it is either you are at the level where you're growing and trying to understand, or you have to decide whether you want to do the work and not be paid. So most of the time, the way voiceovers are done, I'm going to speak about that in voiceover marketing. You need to understand that there should be a process to what you want to do. A lot of the mistakes young voiceover talents make is that they put the carts before the horse, right? when someone calls you, you're already thinking about how much you're going to charge without even understanding the entire project, and that might come back to hurt you. Okay. From the get-go, before you are contracted for the job, you should know whether you're writing the script or not, whether there is a script, whether the script can be shared with you. If there's no script, and they would have told you, if you ask the necessary questions, you would have already known that, oh, there's no script, and then you factor in your script, the charge for the script, into your invoice. Okay, you would have put it there. Script writing is 50,000, voiceover is this thousand, this is this, and send it to them. Oh, send in your email and you send the invoice to them. There is no way they will pay you if they are serious minded. Okay, but if you are talking over the phone and they say, how much are you going to charge? You say, I'm going to collect 20,000 naira ma. They now send you a bunch of text, and it's now a struggle for you to get off the hook, because you already said that you are collecting such amount of money and you didn't understand the entire project. Talking money when it comes to voiceover recording is the very last thing that I do. When I'm having conversations with clients, you think that I don't want to do the job, or you think that I do not want to collect money from them. That's what you think. Sometimes I will be giving them ideas and adding a few things that they didn't even think about, and you will think I won't charge, because I've given them all these options and things that they can do that they didn't even see. They would want to hear how much I want to charge them. Okay, so there's just a process to this thing. So it's either you allow yourself to grow through it and get the experience, or you start gradually. Okay, because those clients will be there. You need to understand that you are in business. Voiceover is a business. For me, it is a business. Every month, I know the number of people that are paid from voiceover workshop. So I can't say I'm not doing business. Okay. So you need to ask yourself if you're really in business, or you're just still trying out and checking whether this thing will work. All right. If you're in business, then you need to understand a few things. First, there's the growth time. There's also the learning curve. And then you need to also understand that even in doing business, no matter how big you are, some clients are relevant for certain things, while some clients are relevant for other things. Your clients are of different class. There are some clients that are basic. There are some clients that are premium. Now, premium clients, for instance, are clients that give you money that you can invest. They pay you like big sums of money and all that. There are some clients that are basic clients. Those clients, they keep your business running. Those clients are the kind of clients that will ensure that you can pay salaries, that you can buy toiletries, that you can, put diesel in your generator, and all of those kind of things. Those clients, they are the running cost clients. All that they do for you is they keep your business moving, right? While you are looking for those heavy and big clients to boost your business and make your business grow. All right. All of these things, they are important. It's just the only thing is that you have to be careful not to make your basic client so much that you don't even have time for your premium clients. Okay, so these things are things that you must pay attention to. If not, you will keep struggling and complaining and all that, right? And you feel like, okay, this voiceover maybe it's not working for me. Okay, all right. I hope that helps. Favor, you have a question?
Okay, yes, I do. So I wanted to ask, how do I train my voice to sound better? Because I feel like I have a not a very tiny voice, but I don't have a very big voice, and it
You
kind
don't
of
have a very
makes me
what? A
look.
very what?
I don't have a very bold voice,
Okay.
so it kind of limits the kind of project I could work on. For example, there are some projects that need a bold feminine voice, and because I don't think I have a very bold voice, it's very hard for me to deliver because of that. How do I train my voice to be bold? So I don't only work on slow and steady voiceover or romantic stories, but other work for me is bold feminine voice. How do
Well, truth is, I think one of the only ways is through practice. All right. You need to you already have a picture of what you want your voice to sound like. right? You just need to practice yourself into it. As long as you can see it. I tell people that my voice didn't used to sound like this. I kept growing, and right now I think my voice sounds a bit better than how it used to sound, right? Because I pay attention to growing and I hear myself. So you also have to be able to hear yourself. All right. When who was that was talking about H factor? I told her that one of the good things is that she can hear it, because if she cannot hear it, then that's a bigger problem. A lot of people talk and they don't even hear themselves. They don't know how they sound. All right. So you, as a voiceover artist, you must know how you sound. The words that come out of your mouth, before we hear them as your audience, you should have heard them already before they come out. So whether it is confident, whether it is not, you already know, because at the end of the day, it is what comes out of your mouth that is heard. All right. That is that. The other thing is that you need to embrace your voice. It's not, some people, their voice can only do what their voice can do. They can't do more than that, and that is also okay. You just need to find a balance and the strength, the power that is in there. You understand? And until that happens, you'll be fine. You'll be trying to look for something that is not missing. Okay. The uniqueness of your voice is in how it sounds. If your voice is a tender voice, then if you have tried, because I usually say that you cannot make a decision, you cannot say I can't do these things if you have not explored it. But if you have tried enough and you see that, okay, this is where my voice is, embrace it and push that out, because that is where your market is. People who love your voice for being tender and innocent, or not push it, those are the people that will come, and everybody has a client. Does that make sense? All right. Okay, fantastic. All right. How about those who imitate? Gladys, can you explain that question a bit more? Because I don't know where that is coming from.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening.
everyone. Okay,
Gladys, is this the same? Why is your voice sounds familiar? Are you the Gladys that I know?
possibly, sir.
Possibly you are proud. Oh yeah, go on.
Jeez. Okay, yeah, I was talking about making voices. Like, I maybe tend to see an actor and I want to imitate what the person is saying. Now, we talked about having a unique voice for yourself. You have your own market, and say you have your own space. You are good with say pidgin, yeah,
Yeah.
and you just want to do pidgin, but then you see another one, and not like you are leaving your pidgin, right? You're saying something else, like you want to imitate a child's voice, an adult voice,
Yeah.
a woman, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Does it mean that you are leaving your own space, or you're still in your space, even though you are still using your pidgin?
Mm-hmm.
Does
Not
it mean you are leaving
not
your
not
space?
not necessarily, really. And even in staying in your space, right? You need, see, the truth is, there's the part of the arts, okay, and there's the part of numbers. Let me put it that way. Numbers meaning money. As a business, as someone in business, numbers are important. All right. Now, until you are unable to do other genres of voiceover, if you're unable to do other genres of voiceover, you can decide to say, okay, this one that I know how to do, I'm going to be there. Okay. There are some people that can only do deep voices, and you only look for them when you need that heavy voice, maybe for a beer brand, maybe for a movie trailer. Those are the places that you find them. And after some time, they will realize that that's their power. That is where they will be. So anybody that is looking for that heavy, thick voice will go to them. But they can only be there when they cannot do any other type of voiceover. Now, if you can mimic someone else or another voice tone, that means you can do it. It is all about voiceover. Your work, right, is to take on any character and become that character. And characters come with different voice tones, except you cannot go to that tone, then you leave it, that you can't work with that. Or else your work is not just to be stationed. Actually, one of the things you should know how to do is move from one character tone to the other. If you have to sound like a child for an animated movie, that is the voice tone. Your flexibility, exactly. You have to be flexible. You heard when I did bye, right? It doesn't mean I can't do in a world, one man. So if someone calls me now and says, we just need you to be on that pitch and just be talking like this, and that is all we need. Or just be talking in a way, and that is all we need. Or I have come to realize that, and that is all we need. It doesn't mean that I should not. Okay? So you have to know your voice and where it goes. Or if someone just says, talk like this, normal. Hey, I'm really fine. And every day I realize that when I drink more water, that is the adverts, that is the commercial, that is what they want. I don't have to do, come, let's go there. And now no, I don't have to do all that. Even though I can do them, this script says, just be the normal guy next door. Hey, have you thought about drinking this kind of water before? And that's just it. Okay? So until you have explored the possibilities in your voice, right, you must not say, this is just my genre. This is the place that I want to be. I don't want to leave this environment. So do as much as you can. Find your voice, explore, okay, and give yourself a chance to grow. All right, for those who are going into public speaking, because I do a lot of, stage work and all that, one of the things that you also want to try to do, you need to understand that there's energy in every room. There's energy in every room because there are different people with different energies there. Okay? One of the tricks to being successful on stage, aside your confidence and knowing what you want to say and the field you're operating in, one of the other things that would help you successful is when you find the right energy in that room. So when you get on stage and you start talking, after some minutes, you should have identified 1, 2, 3, or 4 people who are giving you the right energy, because some people will give you the wrong energy and that can make you fail. There are some people who are smiling at everything you are doing and some people who are applauding and saying, right on. Those are your guys. Every other person is irrelevant. Because when you get the right energy, your performance level will go up. When you get the wrong energy, trust me, your performance level will go down. So aside the confidence, you should also find the right energy in the room. I just needed to say that before I forget. Precious, I just looked at the time and I realized that it's past 8. Wow. And I've not gone far. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow, but Precious. Precious. Oh, Precious, don't do this to us now. You know that trend that time. Precious.
Is it my Precious?
Daddy. All I know. Precious. Your
Hi.
hand is up. I see your hand up. That's why I'm calling. Which one? Okay, there's two Precious. There's Precious Oluwawemi Mo, right? Oluwemi Mo, I think. And there's Precious Chinaza. Precious Chinaza. Glad he says some applause may mean get off the stage. Ah, be optimistic, sister. Precious Chinaza, your hand is up.
I'm talking. I don't know if
Now I can hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Please, you have a question.
Yes, good evening. You said something about the script and then you did different types of voicing. So I want to know, is it the script that would determine the kind of voice you be using for that ad or the voiceover itself?
Yeah, it could be the script, it could be the genre of voiceover it is. Okay. And then it could just be the direction of the producer or whoever, or the engineer that is handling the session. It could be a couple of things. All right. Now you need to understand that if, let's say, movie trailers, now if you want to do movie trailers, because of the genre, there's a voice, could you mute your mic, please? There's a voice texture that you must use. All right. There's a voice texture that you must use if you're doing a movie trailer. So if someone sends you a script and they say it's a movie trailer, you automatically know that it's a big voice. So you're going down and down and looking for what you kept at the bottom of your voice. Okay. Now, if someone says it's an IVR, I've not gotten there. If it's an IVR, interactive voice response, you know that it's usually tender and not in a hurry. Welcome to Guarantee Trust Bank, or the number you have dialed is currently unavailable. Because it's IVR, the genre also has a behavior. If it's an e-learning, you know what it is. If it's an explainer video, welcome. Okay, you know how the behavior should be. If it's a commercial, all right, yes. And I also wanted to explain the difference between a commercial and a jingle. Most of the time, people mix it up. A commercial is you selling a product, idea, or service using, you're speaking, using your voice while speaking. Okay. The new Omo detergent brings to you clean white, this, that. Okay. And a jingle is when you're selling a product, an idea, or a service by singing. I wish I have a friend. Oh, 737 444. That is a jingle because you're singing, even though you're selling the idea or the product. But when it's a commercial, voiceover workshop brings to you this and that. All right. So please, after this class, don't mix it up. There's a difference between a jingle and a commercial. They're not the same. If a client calls you and says, I want you to do a jingle for me, please clarify. The reason you need to clarify is when you need to do a jingle, there are several things that you put in perspective. You need to write the song. You need a producer that is a music producer to produce a new sound. And then you need a singer to sing it. And then you need a voiceover. Now, all of these things will cost more and will take more time than if you're recording just a commercial. Capiche? All right.
Capiche.
Any other question? Would have to stop here today. Finally, before we stop, if there are any questions or any other thing, what you listen to is important. The people that you listen to, they're also important. There's a way they would affect, okay? There's a way there. Does it mean that voiceover artists sing too? I worked on a jingle recently for a payment platform in the US, and I sang and I did the voice over as well. The jingle is yet to be out. Okay, so that's why I can't play it. If not, you would have heard it. Okay, because I sing. In fact, I remember 2000 and was it 2012 or so? I did something for Dancer Fruit Juice, and it was rap. Okay, it was rap for Dancer Fruit Juice, and I did the payoff. You know, I can't remember the rap. I wanted to do it. Get to the floor. I can't remember. Dancer in the club, in the party. Dancer everywhere, all the way. Go get your dancer just today. You know, something like that. And then at the end of the day, Dancer Fruit Juice, juice it up, something like that. Okay. So if you know how to do most of these things, okay, it helps a big deal. All right. But don't look at me, because I do quite a number of things. All right. I hustled in my life, so I know how to do a couple of things. I do video production and animation. I do graphics design. I do production for audio and voiceover projects. I record voiceovers. I do all of that. Okay. I coach, I do stage, I do acting, I do radio, TV, and all that. Okay. So it is rare that something is not happening within my table. Okay. But you don't have to do all that to also to make it. You can outsource all of that. You can pay people to do that. You know, I used to do all of that to help my business, but right now there are people who are paid to do some of these things. Okay. So it is a process for me. Process is key. You need to understand. All right. Right now we have over 40 of us here. The first training I did, I put together for people to pay. Nobody showed up. I had to cancel the training, you know, and then I continued after. And today, I mean, we've trained hundreds of students and counting. Okay. So it's all process. The process is there. If you're willing to grow, if you're ready to grow, things will happen regardless. Okay. So that's it. I was saying that what you listen to is important. What you listen to, the people that you listen to, there's a way they can affect you. They can affect how you interpret certain things. They can affect how you see or how you speak, whether you pronounce some things well or not. Okay, you can learn from them. And then see, there's nothing wrong with learning from someone, but doing it your own way. Okay. And some of those things also help very much. All right. So find a way, listen to things that will help you, podcasts, you know, individuals, follow voiceover talents who are doing well, hear them, see the kind of content they're putting out, listen to their productions, you know, and just try to grow. I said I was listening to the New Masquerade, Chief Zebediah, and the guys back in the days. You know, that really helped me a great deal, because it really just made me, that was like my first contact to voice work, and it helped me a lot. Okay, because it gave me a perspective. And even to right now, sometimes when I do my pigeon voiceover, as I can hear like Chief Zebediah or some of these guys inside it. All right. And yeah, so listen to, okay, listen to that, listen to as much as possible. All right. I wanted to do the Chief Zebediah, but I'm not sure you guys are interested. So let's
I'm interested.
We are
I know
interested.
Zebediah. I love Zebediah. I'm interested.
We are
Interested. Please.
All right. So Chief Zebediah, he would just go, Clarus, Chief Clarus Umbojikwe of Ndiolumbe. Oga, sir. Clarus, yes, Oga. Are you sure that head are correct you? Yes, Oga, I sure. Can you swearing that head are good you? Yes, Oga, I go swearing. Ngwanu, go ahead to be swearing the swear, so that I can be know that you are mean it properly, that head are good you. Yes, Oga. Oh, Chinekem lai. Okem noli gwa na collab. Kelem gudiae. Oewae. The guy shall went on and pray. Clarus, yes, Oga, what are you do? Oga, I swearing now. You are. I was talking it's that head that does not correction you, but you are thinking it's that I am does not know what I am talking about. Look at it now. I was asked you to be swearing, but you are beginning to prayer. Ungbo, my people, what other evidence are you required to be know it that Clarus Umboji am mad, or you have become the victim of mental catastrophe and malandios? Oga Tufiakwa. Clarus, yes, Oga. Why are you Tufiaring the Tufiakwa? Oga, they Tufiakwa because how small boy like me go get malandios? Oga, that one fit to be the sickness of big man, oh. But you are acting big man. And you are not. You are. So therefore, you must suffer the sickness of big man, leprous, tuberculosis, hepatitis, epileptical, tombola, ammonia, etc., etc., etc. Oga, to God in heaven, look my tongue for up. Oga, I not be acting big man again. Glingori, Oga, I swear I not be acting big man again. Glingori ekabogu, Okasa. Glingori, yes, Oga. What are you know about Clarus Ombojikwe? Oka Clarus, he did yo. Clarus, Oka, they called you. Look at it, Glingori, yes, Oka. Answer me the question without no congruence. Unless you have joined Clarus in the malicious or critical medulla oblongata. Oka, Clarus been joked before that in the senior house boy, maybe union. That are on your own government. But in my own government, where I am His Excellent, everybody of the two, both of you are in the ordinary level. Are you hear it? And thank you, Claros, you don't get it, no guy, Tiago. He say both of us are in the other theft. No be tomorrow night you go Tiago make a con odd whatever, but you make you wash and guru. Come on, get away. Glingori, Chesoka. What I am trying to be tell you are that Claros are hazatos, panchromonia, and the chahos, Oka, where are they come? Hey, okay, what you talk? I don't go bring dictionary. Okay, you talk that bankrupt, glingori, bo, kuje, kwagu you for you to look my Oyibo grammatical in that small dictionary. The Oyibo grammatical of His Royal Pan Powerless, Chief Zebudayo Korigbo Mogo, alias 430, it cannot be found in that small dictionary of Onitsha literature. It should be found in the Okporopority of the Sanclopedia de Britannica, the Owerinka, the Imerian way. The Idiaraba, how can you be go to look for Meleko in Alabingo? It's possible. Come on, return that dictionary. Yeah. All right, that's just one. All right, thank you so much.
Man.
Yeah,
Wow,
so I
this
mean,
much, man.
thank you.
I
Thank
thought
you.
I was hearing three
Talent
people.
for you.
Talent by excellence.
Bad, bad,
This is too much. Well done.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the work.
I'll
That's
be like you
Raw
when I grow up.
talent.
when you grow up. Oh my
Yes,
God.
This
so
is raw talent.
this is good.
Well done, sir. Well done, sir.
But
All right. So tomorrow we continue, same time, same station. What's it called? Assignment for today is I want you to do a video, and for those who do not use social media, well, I don't know how I'm going to help you because I am a fan of knowing how to shoot videos and growing your social media. Okay. I'm sure most of you saw the post for this training online on Instagram, some on Twitter, no, some on TikTok. Okay. And trust me, when your following online grows, your chances of getting more clients is higher. I'm saying it from experience. So please, you will do a video, introduce yourself. Number 2, I just registered for the Voiceover Acting Pro Course Crash Course with King E. These are the 3 things why I love my voice. That's your assignment. Please do not come to class tomorrow without doing it. Post it on your social media, mention Voiceover Workshop and King E, and that's your first assignment.
Sorry,
Now,
sir, please. You said I just registered for
the Voiceover Acting Pro Course Crash Course. Now, one of the other things that you are doing with that post is that for those people who do not know that you do voiceovers, they are prepping their hearts to see that this is a voiceover talent and they will possibly be future clients.
So please, can you come again with the assignment?
Assignment
introduce
number
yourself.
1, introduce
Okay.
yourself. Please, someone should write it in the chat. Introduce yourself and say, I just registered for the voiceover acting pro course crash course. Third thing, these are 3 things that I love about my voice. And then do your whatever conclusion you want to conclude. You can say bye. You can say, so look, watch out for me. I have so many things in stock. You can say, just whatever you like. Okay. You can say, I love you all. You have been my greatest support club, whatever. Okay. And then post it, mention voiceover workshop and King E. And that's your first assignment. Tomorrow, we would do another assignment. I also have, there's a surprise guest that I'll be having on Thursday. Let me bless you people a lot more. All right. So any other thing? I think that's the end of our class. Do you have any questions, feedback? Any other thing? Questions? No questions? Are there still more genres? There are. There are more genres. Maybe it's only 2, maybe 3 that I mentioned. I'm not done.
It was just 3: narration,
so
commercial, and
they're probably up to 10 or even more. So
yeah.
So there are more to answer your question. And then of course there's also voiceover archetype. That is important. All right. So you see, for those of you who see, all right, the assignment is there. Please, if you have not written it, go and write it now before we close this session. Someone will do countdown for us to end the class. All right, everybody good? Was a good class? Where are our people? Is there anybody from Kenya, Ghana here? Please, if you are, introduce yourself. Because I know that we had a few people from, do we have them in class? Our brothers and sisters, Ghana, Cameroon, anybody? Kenya? No one? That's interesting. Or they paid for the class and didn't show up. Okay. All right. Any other thing? All right. In the absence of none, we've even used.
Sorry. Just a quick one, please.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
So appreciative of it. Okay. I was wondering, are we going to get recordings, because my network was fluctuating and my son has been jumping around me.
Don't worry. Recordings will be shared, will be sent to the group.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Come. That's all. Okay. We need a volunteer to do countdown for us.
All right, King E, I just want to say thank you for tonight's class.
Thank you.
It's been an eye-opener and an amazing one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let me volunteer for the countdown. How many
All right. That's up to you. If you start 100.
Okay, 5.
That's too short now. Where are you running to?
Okay.
Start from?
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Nothing really, just to say thank you. It was an insightful one. A very good session. Thank you so much.
John. Okay. Thank you.
You have to start the countdown all over again.
I'm telling you.
I'll start to continue from where you stopped.
No, I think he should continue from where he stopped. I think he should continue from where he stopped.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, everyone. Bye, 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 bye,
Good night,
bye.
everyone.
Bye, voices. Bye,
Bye,
Mimi. Bye,
King E.
President.
Bye,
Good night, everyone.
everyone.
Good night,
Bye,
Thank
Voice
you,
of
King.
First,
Europa.
everybody.
Bye.
See you
Arigato.
tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone.
Good
Same
morning,
time.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye,
Oh my
everybody.
God.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. See you
Oh my
tomorrow.
God. Oh my God.
Lord, he's shipping.